Hey, this is Susan's.
And this is Rita, and you're listening to Reali-Tea. Welcome back, everybody.
Everybody.
Yes, yes, yes,
What an
yes. Another,
exciting. Yeah, first of all, happy Easter. Happy Beyonce's Easter.
you know,
And what an exciting episode,
yeah, these two episodes were good, I think, because we were reviewing episodes 7 and 8.
Mm.
So I think it was definitely perfect for us to do a double bill because the episodes just flow into
right?
each other. So we definitely have
Very true.
a lot to talk about. Just chaos all over the place. It's just been chaotic, but I'm here for it. I'm living for all of it. I'm living for it.
Absolute.
But what
Absolute.
are you
Speaking of
sipping on
absolute,
before we start?
you see what I
Are you
did there?
drinking Absolute? I'm gonna say, are you drinking Absolute vodka?
I'm not, but if I was, it would have been dope. But hey, absolute, if you're listening, I mean that was a good link in. Come on, come
Yes, yes.
on. No, ma'am. I'm just behaving. I'm having coffee, black coffee, because I gotta work afterwards, and some water on the side.
Love it, love it, love it. I'm drinking an apple, pear, and spinach juice from Woolies. Yeah, it's actually quite nice. It's just these things are just have lots of sugar in them because obviously natural sugars, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite sweet. But I like it. It's nice.
Okay, no, that
It's a
sounds that
vibe.
sounds delish actually. The
It's
more
a
the
vibe.
more greens, the more greens the better, no?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we hope you guys are also sipping on something nice while you're listening to the podcast because we do have a lot to unpack. So I think
Mhm.
without delaying anymore, because we're gonna have, I think today will be an extra long episode. But yeah, let's get
Yeah.
into the Real Houses of Durban, season 4, episodes 7 and 8. So we pick up episode 7, and we're still at Angel's party. And obviously, we
Mhm.
know Hurricane Mabusi came in and just caused havoc, and the ladies are just nothing is going well at this party. But Sarisha still feels like there's still room to heal. And I feel like I know they started off the season saying this is they're gonna be heal. It's they're gonna
It's
do
the theme.
healing. Yeah, it's the theme. But
Yeah.
these two episodes and even before this, there's been no healing at all. I don't know what they were thinking, but they can scrap that idea
Zero.
because I nothing here, nothing is working out.
That's my thing for me.
Nothing.
Like it's like no one wants to meet Sarisha halfway. Like, Sarisha's willing, she's willing. She's even willing to like extend herself, but no one is willing to also be like, okay, like there's like, no, I'll just take accountability. When it's like, no, actually, right, so that time when you did A, B, and C, I felt some type of way about it. And like, let's clear the air, you know? Like no one is willing to
True.
her halfway in that when everyone was respectful and they were like, you know what, enough is enough now.
Like what I can appreciate about the group is that every time there's some kind of sit down group activity like that, like they iron out the issues. They don't like pussyfoot around stuff. Like they talk about this is what happened. Let's talk about it. Like I can because it's making
Mhm.
it makes it like great TV to watch. Great
It
TV
does.
to
It's just that
watch.
it becomes too formulaic. And I think that's also why, like, Suresh even says she has anxieties when it comes to dinners because she knows when it's time for the dinners, we're going to be messy. Where it's like, guys, we're housewives. Let's be messy anyway. Let's just not leave it
Yeah,
for the
true,
dinner. Like, yeah.
true.
So I think that's the only problem that it becomes formulaic. But I don't know, episode 7 and 8, like, and maybe because the fights were so spicy, we were happy with it. But otherwise, if the fights were going to be murdered, like, I think we were going to be like quite, quite bored of it. Bored with the
Yeah.
layouts for the
But
formula.
let's just get through Angel's party because before we get to Drakensberg, they try
Mm.
to Angel tries to get some kind of resolution between Amy and Londi. And Londi, I think, is quite confused because she's like, what did I actually say that has, I guess, made you so
Mm.
upset? And we obviously know that it looks like Londi spoke to a close friend of Amy's about Amy's situation. And obviously the information got back to Amy. And also the information that got back to Amy's ex, who is dating Londi London from Real House of Durban. But
Yeah.
I think when Londi apologized, I think she was just doing it just to be like, let me just shut this lady up. Let me just apologize. I don't know exactly like what's going on, but she did apologize. She
Yeah.
said she has nothing against Amy. And while that's happening, I think Jojo was having a white woman moment and she was like, I need to leave. And she got up and left.
Not even I think she was
She
having a
was. Yeah.
I want to steal the moments like thing. And I was
Yes.
so annoyed with her because I looked at her, I'm like, is it the producers or is it her? Like, are they trying to make this a bigger slur than what it is? I honestly don't think it's that big. Yes, I
No.
wouldn't call anyone white bitch, 100%. But at the
Yeah.
same time, like, it's if you're walking around crying, I'll be like, babes, no, like, let's get over it, please.
No,
Like,
I
do we need to have a
genuinely
kumbaya session? Because I'm
no, I genuinely think this is a big deal for her. Like this is this is like she I don't think she's being OTT. I genuinely think she's this is a big deal for her. And it's ridiculous to us, but I think she's having it like someone called me out like she's
so
like
ridiculous.
I don't want to live in a country like that. What do you think black people what country do you think we're living in with the history that we have?
You know what I'm saying?
Girl, wake
Never mind
up,
how we're being
bruh.
called, how we're being paid, how we're being treated, how
Bruh,
we expected to like work 12 times harder than you, Jojo. So like actually,
exactly.
yeah, this is the country that we live in. So if you're
And
called a
she's
white
from
bitch, I'm
South
sorry.
Africa.
It's not a nice term, but you can go through much worse. You can go through much
True.
worse.
Like
Please.
for me personally, like
Yo.
yeah, I think it really is a big deal for her, and that's why she left. And I think at the end of the day, we know that if somebody calls someone like if somebody said you black bitch, that is way worse than someone saying white bitch. I'm so sorry. Like that's just how I feel about it. But
Hmm.
like it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Like
Jojo,
she's making it seem like she called her a nigger. Like she said, hey nigger, hey kafir. Like it's you know, she's acting like it's that kind of energy. And it's like yo, I don't know. For me, it's just like another case of how like white women have so much power in how like they can overreact, and we all drop everything.
yes,
We'll drop our kids, we'll drop our grandmothers. We don't care anymore because right now we need to care for this white lady that I met at Spa today because she's crying.
exactly. And it's just like, no, get over it. They really just get over it.
Please,
But I guess
you're
also
an adult. You're actually
just
an adult.
just
Like,
to
please.
maybe be on JoJo's side a little bit. Obviously, I think maybe what's also maybe triggering her is that this whole Mabusi situation when she was receiving death threats, and obviously, like I don't agree with all that stuff. Like
Mm,
I feel like just fans just take things too far in general. But I
there's
think
no need.
maybe what's also triggering her is that she also received death threats in this process while I guess when she had a whole whatever's been happening between her and Mabusi. So I think that's maybe also triggered her, and she's like, actually, I want to be a part of this. I'm out. Y'all can you can deal with this. So she obviously leaves
Mm.
and she's very, very upset, but I guess I don't think she's ever gonna want to see Mabusi again. And I honestly don't blame her. But as a fan of the show, I'm like bring Mabusi back because she came in there like a hurricane, caused shit and then left. Like she was there to cause havoc.
Bring that housewife who calls women white bitches back. Bring her back.
Yeah, bring her back. But after the way Jojo treated her, honestly, there was a part of me that didn't feel bad because I was like, after she came, the way she used to come
No,
for
not at all.
Mabusi, she used to say
Not at
Mabusi is
all.
wearing
Like they
has
looked
fake
down on her.
exactly has fake bags and whatever else. And then when they went on that Sun
Hmm.
City trip, and then she threw a drink at her
Hmm.
unprovoked. Sorry, you
Hmm.
had what it was coming for you. You threw a drink at me unprovoked, and she said, "I'm from Lamontville. I'll fuck you up."
Hmm. And
Yes,
honestly, I wish Mabusi, I wish she doubled down on it because I can
yeah,
guarantee you that there are at least like 60% of us who are watching the show and we're like, is it that bad? Like what we go through as like black people, like never mind me as a black man, like what black women go through, like is it really that bad? You know, like I wish she doubled down on it. And she was like, no, but you guys treated me like absolute shit for 2 seasons. To the
exactly,
point where like I was even the butt of a joke in the reunion. Like that for me
exactly.
is like I felt so bad for her, you know. So
Yeah,
thank you for reminding me. Like actually, I don't feel bad for it. I don't. I'm sorry, Georgia. You
same.
have money.
The white
You
women
can
know
wipe it away with 200 rand.
how to weaponize their tears, and I think JoJo knows how to
They
work the
know.
group. And she's the only white woman
Hmm.
in the group, so I think she knows how to work. Because we saw the minute that white bitch thing happened, everybody ran to JoJo, giving her hugs as if she needed to be consoled, as if somebody
Okay,
stole her money or
I
something.
thought you were calling her white. I
No,
thought you were calling her white bitch. I'm like,
woo,
oh
then
damn.
we'll get demonetized here. They'll be telling us she'll probably sue us for something. Yeah, white women love to weaponize their tears. But anyway, moving on from that, Mabusi has not been seen since. But Maria wants to take the ladies away, and she wants to take them to the Drakensberg. And apparently, we've had a trip to the Drakensberg. I can't remember what season that was, but we've been to the. I think maybe it was last season. But it's a girls'
It was
trip,
last season, yeah.
and the ladies are going away. So Maria and Zama travel together, so obviously they get along. And I think from like watching the episode, I realized that there's a very clear divide in the group, very clear
Mm,
divide.
mm,
And Slee and
mm.
Angel travel together as well. And in the cars, it's just various conversations that are going on. But Zama tells Maria about the meeting that she had with Sarisha, and Zama basically just says that I think she's in a culture
AKA
shock.
Michael Jackson.
Bruh, why does she keep calling Sarisha? Like, she needs to stop doing that because it actually makes me laugh. The way I chuckle every time she says it, every time she calls Sarisha
I'm not
Michael
gonna lie.
Jackson.
I also chuckled.
You know what I'm
Like that one
saying?
is that one for me is like better than 8K line.
Yeah, it's way better than APA line. But she says that she's experiencing a culture shock within the group. And I think and I can understand what she's saying only because I think coming into like Housewives and you're coming into an already established group and it's being filmed and a lot of the drama is very extra. So I think she's probably like, I don't live my life like this
Mm,
on a daily basis.
mm.
Now I've been thrown into the fucking lion's den, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? So I can understand her saying that
That's
she's
a good point,
experiencing
actually. That's a very good
a
point.
culture shock. I can get that because this is not normal. Like
Yeah.
housewives is not normal.
It's not normal, but at the same time, like what I don't like is how she'll always deflect. She'll always be
True,
deflecting, and it'll be like, okay, but Zama, why did you? Okay, let's talk about how are any of you guys there for me? Let's talk about that. It's like, no, we're not here to talk about
true,
that. We're here to talk about A. We're now you've jumped to Z. So I get that she feels like she is now a dog cornered, and she has to like bite 10 times harder just for them to back off. But at the same time, you put yourself in this position, baby.
mm. And while they're talking in the car,
Mm,
it looks like Maria's kind of clocking Sarisha. I think they just those two. I don't think will ever get along because Maria's like Sarisha sees everyone as a pawn in her board game, and I think
mm,
she's kind of
mm,
implying that Sarisha is a bit calculated, and I
mm-hmm.
think Maria is just
But
not
she's
vibing
not
with
lying.
Sarisha. You don't think so? You think she is
Honestly, I think she's
calculated?
not lying. She's not. She is 100% because think about how season one, season two, we were saying, I'm like, where is this woman is not a housewife. Like, yes, okay, she has the fame, she has the prestige, she has the money, but she's not
Mm,
a housewife. All of a
mm,
sudden, Sunday, season three, she slowly starts changing. Season four, she's someone who is spicy. She has retorts. She has like, it's like she's literally acting. And I don't mind at all. I honestly don't mind. She's giving us what we want, and she's doing
true,
such a good job at it. That's why I'm like, is there a strategist who is behind her? Like, is there someone from Bravo who's telling her like, hey, do this, watch this season? Like it's literally like she has done a complete 180, and it's impressive to
true.
see. It's honestly impressive to see. Like she sees herself
No,
as
it
a
is.
brand, and I'm not mad at it. Maria is just mad because I think she's similar. She's very similar. I mean, this is someone who
Yeah,
had fillers that were extreme. This is someone who's now taken fillers out. Someone's very insecure about these fillers, even though it's like, but babes, it's your body. Like, fuck what anyone else thinks. She has a lot of like insecurities that I think she wishes she could be as confident as Sarisha is. Like yes, Sarisha
yeah.
is manipulative, but she's still very sure of herself. She
No,
doesn't need
true.
that billion to be like, I'm still Sarisha Knight, you know?
No, true, true, true. So I think from
Mm,
this conversation I
mm,
just picked up that like Maria is not feeling Sarisha at all. Like I don't think they're ever gonna get along, to be
mm-mm.
honest. I think
And we
that's
saw
a
it. We saw it from last
fail.
season. There was like a bit of like, yeah.
Yeah. And then Angel and Slee are in the car, and Slee says she feels uncomfortable around Zama, and Angel says she wants to get to the bottom of her issue with Zama. And I don't think we've gotten to the bottom of that issue. I don't know what it is. Well, it was because she was called a child, so I don't think we'll ever resolve that. They must just stop calling her a child. I think that's the gist of it.
I think that's where it started, but I don't know, like it's weird. I think because Angel came at her with that energy, already Zama was like, okay, I must protect myself. These are not my friends, these are my colleagues. So she already knew to come at her with distant energy. That's why when she's talking about the kids, I mean her fertility issues, and then I think that's
Yeah,
also why Zama like first of all cut her off because she's like, oh, this is actually very similar to my story, but also like you're not my mate, so why should I care about your story? You know what I'm saying? You're here just to
true.
make money. You're not here because you care about my birthday. I think I don't know.
No, true. No, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Mm.
Um, And then we have Nonku and Jojo. Those two travel in a helicopter to get to Drakensberg, and the rest of the ladies arrive. The rest of them drove, and we know the only other person that took a helicopter was Sarisha, but she comes in later. So now we have Maria, Nonku, Jojo, Slee, and Angel all have arrived. And Nonku asks Zama, how does she
And I
remain
will
so
say that I was
calm?
loving
Yeah.
I was loving their looks. Like it was giving me holiday chic, but still very like, yeah, it was very
Yeah, the
cute.
ladies. I think in general, like I think the fashions that we've seen this season, I haven't had any like major issues. Like I didn't look at someone's outfit and was like, mm-mm, mm-mm. Like for the most part, everyone looks good all the time.
We'll talk about the fashion part when we get to the fights
Yeah,
because I was like, see, hey, okay. I don't know why she
yeah.
got so offended. That's all I'm saying.
So Nonku talks to just while they're all sitting there, she just says to Zama like, how does she remain so calm? And even when Zama was with Sarisha, I can agree she's very calm. She doesn't raise her voice. She's not very rah rah. Sometimes I'm like, I think it's a very calculated move to remain that calm, and I think she
Mm-hmm.
does it on
Mm-hmm.
purpose. But Noku then does ask Zama
Mm-hmm.
like, does she feel attacked in this group? Because Noku feels like Zama gets very defensive, and a lot of heat has been coming. They've been
Mm.
coming for Zama at JoJo's Howdy rodeo party. What? They were
I
coming
mean,
for
listen,
her.
guys, how do you say no? You fake the hijacking. How do you say that? Like, I don't even if I have concrete evidence, I will not say to the person, Abel.
And
Like
that's
that's what I'm saying. It
wild,
was all
eh?
justified. It was honestly all justified. That's wild. Ha! Someone here faked the kidnapping. Whoa. Whoa.
That's a bold statement.
Very bold. Like that's
Very
something that only
bold,
a detective can say. Like,
bruh, bruh. But yeah,
but she gave us what we needed, I guess. She gave us that
true.
energy that we needed something like that.
And I think also when these ladies arrive, because minus Angel, but I think, oh sorry, so Angel and Slee had not arrived when this scene was happening, but I think Zama, Zama, Maria, Jojo, and Nonku was solidifying themselves as a group in this setting here. Because Jojo
Mm.
then says that she thinks that Zama's reaction actions are reactions to what's happening and people talking about her in the
Mm.
group. So I feel like this foursome
Which is not a good thing either.
exactly. This forced them solidified themselves before everyone arrives. And I think they were like, here, we like each other.
Mm.
Looked like Jojo was maybe feeling bad for Zama, and I think Nonku as well. And I think that's when this group solidified themselves as a little foursome because I think this is where the divide started. Because now there's a clear divide in the group.
Mm.
A clear divide in the
Mm.
group.
And I
And
started
then
I started seeing it when Jojo
yeah.
invited Maria and Zama to her house. That's when I first realized, okay, we're back there.
Yes, no, we're back there. And I think these two
Yeah.
episodes made me realize that Maria is up Jojo and Nonku's ass. She was fighting to come back into this little
Oh,
twosome. She was fighting tooth and nail, and now she's
so
back
hard.
in there. She's back up
So
their
hard. And that's
asses.
why I'm saying like Maria is someone who's really, really and I guess we'll get to it at that fight, but she's really the fight at the end of episode 7, but she's really, really insecure. I just saw I'm like, babes, you are insecure. And it's okay.
Very.
Like I'm not even judging her. Like, I'm not even judging. Like we all are insecure to an extent,
But
but
we're
like for
making an
me, it's like it's
observation.
glaringly obvious.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Amy still hasn't arrived, so it looks like Sarisha and Amy will arrive the next day. But we have a bonfire with all the ladies. Um, and Angel then speaks about everything that happened at her event. And Maria says that she respects Angel more after the event because she's, was impressed about how she handled
Hmm.
it. And I guess honestly, it's because she was just on JoJo's side. And I think she was just like, you defended my friend, so I respect you more. So whatever. And then like it was so left field because they weren't talking about the room situation, whatever.
Hmm.
But Slee out of nowhere just goes,
Hmm.
she chimes in about the rooms and she says the ladies made comments about her room. And this is what I feel like also these episodes made me realize that like they need to not have any downtime for cameras. Because even when I've been
Hmm.
watching
Hmm.
Beverly Hills even like recently, and
Hmm.
when they went away on one of their trips, that you are there for the room stuff, like when the ladies are running after the rooms and like you watch that whole process because I feel like we missed out on
Hmm.
something here because it looks
We
like
missed
the
out on something,
ladies,
but I think it was a.
yeah.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. No, I was saying I think it was a conversation that happened off camera, but like after the rooms had been chosen. Because what Slee is saying is that she already booked the room because she knew she has her own way of doing things, her own, her own things she has to do to respect the ancestors. And that's why she knew she needed her own room because people don't like, the stuff of incense and stuff. I don't know if that was communicated to everyone. It looks like it wasn't. So people automatically assumed, no, she just chose this like nice big room. Why did she get this nice big room? And then, oh my God, what is that incense? I think that was when it happened. But now it's like, now we must be hearing a whole fight that happened. We didn't even see the fights. Like the only thing we got was like a random clip that even Amy said was boring.
No,
But like
that
it was
was
just
the
so
next
disappointing. Like
day.
there were two
That clip
events in this
was the
episode that happened
yeah.
off camera.
That was no the video was the next day at breakfast between Angel and Nonku. But this room situation
Oh
here,
yes, you're right.
yeah, with this room situation here, obviously it looks like Slee is offended. Yeah, because now, like you said, the whole incense thing and how she keeps, how she does her whole ancestry situation and how
Mm,
she honors her ancestors wherever she goes. And
mm,
what she was offended by the lady's reactions.
mm-hmm,
And it looks like this was
mm-hmm.
all happening when they were deciding where everyone was going to sleep. And it looks like, from what I understood, it looks like Slee had claimed a room. And then I think maybe they went there to go see, maybe they want this room, but already, um, homegirl
Was
had already
it?
chosen the room. Yeah, now there's incense burning, and it's like, now I'm not going to take that room because now there's already incense that's been burning, the whatever. So I think Nonku then calls Slee paranoid. She said that she's been paranoid since they got here. Which there was a part of me that's like, Nonku is telling the truth, but I think Slee had a reason to be
Mm,
offended. Do you think she
mm.
had a reason to
No,
be
fully,
offended?
fully. I do, especially like if it's coming from like my own people. That's when I'm like, I will. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, personally, I would be like, okay, maybe I don't really like the vibe of that smell, but I'm not gonna now announce even, oh my God, incense. Like I have no idea that like this is what like this is what some people do, and this is just their own way of like honoring their spirituality. So it is very
True,
disrespectful because not gonna go to a Christian and like when they're praying, oh my goodness, you guys are praying again every day. You guys must be doing the same thing.
true,
This Bible, like no one ever does that to like major religions. So I think
true.
is we have to show the same respect to whether you believe that God is a spaghetti monster. You have to respect that person's. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have
Yeah, they
concrete evidence
believe.
of
No,
any of it.
true,
It's a belief,
true.
and it's their right. They have that right to that belief. So I was offended, especially coming from Abononku. Actually, all of them.
Yes,
I think.
all
I
of
think
them.
all of
Yeah,
them could have stepped up and been better and been like, guys, we do have our own opinions and stuff, but like, let's respect her. Like, because what we don't want to be
true.
seen is like we're looking like a fool in front of the other people, and they're like, oh, but like black people don't care about sangomas, so why should we care about sangomas? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and
And like,
and in
you might not like practice it, but we all have respect for them. You know what I'm saying?
true.
That's it.
And I think you have a point there that I
Mm,
think you're also raising a good point that no one came into her defense, even Angel. No one came into Slee's
mm,
defense.
mm,
While because obviously we
mhm,
later find out that there was a conversation about witchcraft and comparing it to witchcraft,
mm,
and nobody came into Slee's
mm,
defense. Even the person that was closest to her,
mm,
no one came in her defense.
mm, mm.
So it's the
It
next
sucks. I
day.
mean, and
Yeah,
I get why she was
completely
so mad.
sucks.
Yeah.
So it's the next
Mm,
day, and Angel visits Slee, and obviously now we've missed out on a breakfast scene, and it looks like there was an argument that happened between Nonku and Angel at breakfast,
mhm,
and it basically let me see my notes here. So it looks like when Angel walked in, Jojo had asked Angel, "Are you okay? Are you upset?"
mm,
And then it looks like Angel is, I guess, was upset on behalf of Slee. So then Nonku
mm,
then asked her, "Why are you upset that Slee's upset? Because last night you were singing a different tune."
mm,
And I
mm,
guess Angel felt like the ladies were gaslighting her as if she was meant to be okay with the situation that happened with Slee.
mm.
So then it looks like there was an exchange of words and
Mm.
things got nasty. People were insulting each
Yeah.
other, and whatever else. And I guess, Slee gives Angel some
Mm.
advice saying, not everything needs a reaction. And I think we've just seen with Angel anyway, she's a very reactive person. You offend them, you say the
Yes.
wrong thing, she's coming for you. She's not going to think twice about it. She's not going to keep quiet, which I like.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, feisty. Come on. But friend, how do
I
you
mean,
feel about the fact
okay.
that,
Do you like it?
how do
Do you
you,
like it? Yeah.
yeah, sorry, I wanted to ask, how do you feel about the fact that there were no
Mm.
cameras at breakfast? Why did we miss out on a whole
I
breakfast
mean,
scene?
Risabile, like one of
Nice.
literally the first notes, the first thing I wrote here was huge issue with this is that it happened off camera. Like if I was a producer, I would actually be pissed off with my whatever, the people below me, my team. I would be pissed off
Yeah.
with my team because I'd be like, guys, come on, like we cannot be missing out on because this is the whole thing that's now affecting it's even affecting the rest of the season, and but we don't have the fights. Like this is a major thing that like culminated
True.
into this huge iconic dinner that we had at episode 8, but now we don't even have like the original footage of it. So we can't even like go to flashbacks. It's such
Yeah.
a huge fuck up on them. It's a
Yeah.
huge fuck up.
No,
And they
completely.
need they need to step up.
So, we missed out on a whole fight, and we're now
Now
getting
we're just
bits
getting
and
hearsay.
pieces. Yes, hearsay.
Yeah.
We don't know who's telling the truth. Meanwhile, it could have been recorded. But anyway, we move on. And
And I
it
think
looks
you know
like,
it's the bad
yeah.
part.
Mm,
I'm just thinking about it now because I'm thinking about how they've had like Atlanta, they've had Beverly Hills, where there were situations that were big in the season. But what they did was they made sure they went to every housewife who was there and they got different stories and then they made like a story, but sharing different sides of the story. So it's kind of like, okay, now I'm kind of understanding what happened, you know? Whereas now we're just hearing like one side and we're hearing bits and pieces from Angel. Then we're not even hearing what George had to say about it. We're not even hearing what, like I just wish we got aside from everyone where they said, "Oh, this was happening. This is what's happening. This is what," and then from there we can formulate our own truth. It could have been
true.
done much better. It honestly could have been done much better. And that's why I'm like, do
No,
you
much
guys even
better.
watch Bravo? Do you guys watch Bravo? Like, you need to be
He's
watching the
so
shows
right.
that are doing better than you, so that you can be like, this is where we should be aiming.
Because they really could have built it up so nicely, gotten whoever was at breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could have heard the producer in the background saying, "What happened at breakfast?" Then you have
Mm,
then you cut it in
mm,
a way that it looks like everyone's like whoever was there, they're telling the story. Because like you said, now we're getting he said,
mm.
she said kind of vibes, and we don't know who's telling the truth. And then we got some random audio, video that was taken. We don't have context of what happened before that video was taken and afterwards. Like they really could
Oh,
have
that
asked.
that was horrible. That was so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't working for me. It was not working for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the ladies go
Mm-hmm.
fishing.
Although did
Yeah.
Steve saying this when Steve was like, Nonko has no right to be calling people ugly. I was like, hey, bro, Steve, you're really coming for Nonko, hey?
Bruh, hard. Hard. But the ladies go fishing after breakfast, after the whole exchange, and Slee doesn't join them. And I think also Slee was waiting for Sarisha to come, to be honest. I'm sure she was like, I'm not doing this with these ladies. Let me get my best Boomba to come. And Angel is the last to
Yeah.
arrive at fishing. And I don't even know if the ladies fished or not. I didn't even observe. It looked boring. But I was like, let the ladies sit down. And that's when the drama started. The lady sat down
Mm-hmm.
and Angel then says, I went to go see Slee. And Angel just says that she didn't realize how upset Slee was, I guess, especially to
Mm.
like about like as her friend that, she was that upset. Um, then
Mm.
Nonku brings up breakfast and she says that she's not okay after breakfast. And Nonku says that Angel went after her unprovoked. And Angel then said she feels like she was trying to be vulnerable. And I guess this is where we're missing the context because we don't know how the conversation started. Was Angel sharing something
Mm.
personal and Nonku was like, fuck you, bitch. We don't want to hear about your story. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I don't know. I don't have much context here. But Nonku says that Angel has an attitude problem, and I'm sure, and I can agree with that. I feel like Angel does have an attitude
Yeah.
in general, and I'm not going to disagree with
Yeah.
that. But Angel,
No, 100%.
I think Angel does a lot of apologizing because I think she reacts right, and I
Mm.
think obviously
Mm.
when you evaluate your behavior, I don't think she's like this all the time. Like I don't think she's just out here fighting. Do you know what I mean? But I think she's a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
reactive person, and you can see because she said she won't justify her behavior, but she says that she wasn't okay, and I think she's gonna do a lot of apologizing, especially at the reunion for things that she did or things that she said.
Mm. Mm.
And then
Mm.
now
And I
we
think maybe
get
the reason why
yeah
No, I'm saying the reason why I think we see a lot of this side of her is because this is a very stressful environment to be in. You're around like five other women that you don't know that you can fully trust. Like
yeah
who are quick to like judge everything that you say, who are quick to like come for anything that you say, or come for like just something random, like, oh, look what I found on the internet. Let's talk about this for like
no
40
true
minutes.
no
So
true
it's a very hard environment to come from. But I'm also thinking maybe this is why Ish, no, no. Let me not say that now. I was about to say I think this is probably why she like there were issues with the relationship, but I can't speak on that. We only saw one
True.
scene, and I already that man was giving me like weird isms. So like yeah, let me not judge on that part. But it's a tough one. It's very tough to be reactive, and it's something that I'm working on as well. Like like being less reactive and like just waiting in the moments and like letting it simmer, and
Mm,
then talking about how you felt after it happens. Because when you talk about how you're feeling at that moment, it's tough. But this
yeah.
is what we want. We want the messiness. We want you to be reactive.
No, true. We really do. So now I think we getting when Angel starts speaking about the analogy that she made, she's saying that she said she doesn't think that any if oh she said that whatever if what Slee was doing was witchcraft, she doesn't think that anybody would be
Mm,
happy, that anybody would be happy about that. And I think just by using the word witchcraft, I think it just sent the ladies down
mm,
a rabbit hole.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
it looks like Nonku then made a comment that Slee is doing witchcraft. And she's saying, and then Maria says Angel laughed about it when Nonku said that Angel laughed. Now they're just in a back and forth
mm,
and they're calling each other ugly and whatever
mm,
else.
mm,
But I think where
mm.
Angel went
You
wrong
see,
here.
and I think that's also the issue as well. That like, yes.
No, go ahead,
Oh,
friend.
yes. Sorry, it goes back to my point of how like anything that you say can be weaponized against you. Because I'm
No,
sure,
true.
like when Angel laughed, she was just laughing awkwardly. Now it's a thing of like, no, you were actually laughing because you in on a joke too. Like now it's hard to defend yourself. It's a tricky one. It's such a tricky one. Like being
No,
being a
very,
housewife, guys. Hey.
very tricky. So I think, yeah. So it looks like just Angel. She just didn't have the correct reaction. If Slee's your friend, you were meant to defend her in that moment, not go
Mm-hmm.
with the rest of the
Mm-hmm.
group that was, saying that she's
Mm-hmm.
doing witchcraft and whatever else. And I think that's where she went wrong. I
Because
think
then
that's
that's
where she
telling
went
me that she
wrong.
also doesn't understand. Yeah, and it's telling me that she doesn't understand Slee, like what Slee does exactly. Because if she did, then
True.
she'd defend and be like, no, what we're not going to say is put witchcraft into this because it's not that. Like she doesn't understand it either. And sometimes like we don't understand things because we're also scared to ask, and like it's
Oh,
nothing wrong with
yeah.
asking someone like, hey, what exactly, like there's nothing wrong. Like they wouldn't be offended as long as you're not being offensive as you're asking that question. Like
Offensive.
I'm sure
True.
a lot of them are willing to answer because we don't know.
True. And it's also
Mm,
quite wild. I don't know to the extent, but it's also quite wild that people are offended or making comments or coughing or whatever. Then literally all she did was light some incense. I don't know if she put out her prayer table or
literally.
something. Maybe, but if that's honestly the reaction, like grow up, grow up.
Yeah, honestly, like I think it was Impepo, which is it's a strong smell, but it's not
That's a
that
fun
bad, guys.
smile. No, I
Like
agree.
it's really not that bad. And for me, like if it means that there are no bad spirits in this place, girl, light that Impepo. I don't mind. I would rather be inside that house because I know that place is protected.
No, true. No, true.
Mm,
So the ladies go
mm,
back and forth, and they're just basically saying that Angel is lying, and and I guess her and Nunku are just not getting along in any case. So she's just like, nah, bro, you lying. Like,
mm,
you came up with the whole witchcraft thing and whatever else. And it's just a back and forth. And Angel just feels like she's
mm,
being ganged up on. And in that situation, being there with that group, she's definitely being ganged up on because the four of them are all friends and she's just there.
mm,
You're not part of that gang.
mm-hmm,
So they were definitely
mm-hmm.
ganging up on her.
Which is why she got so
Um,
heated.
yeah. And then Nonku says she took a recording of what happened at breakfast. Let's talk about that recording. I don't know what was happening. All I heard was insults, and it gave me no context. They made it like I thought the recording was gonna give us like Angel said this, and she said she didn't say it, and here's a
Yes,
recording of her saying it.
yes.
But it was none of that.
It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. This is an example of Nonko. She watches Housewives, and she was like, "Oh, okay, let me do what, like, what, not Eva, what's her name?
Mm,
Homegirl from Atlanta with an M. What Marlo? What? Let me do what Marlo did,
Marlo.
and let me also
Yeah,
record. Like she was trying to do that, but it's like, hey, but your execution was poor. It was
very
poor because
poor.
you just got a random scene. Like we don't know what was happening. Yeah, no. Next time, just ask Jojo to do it. Ask Jojo to do it because she won't look. Because I think she was trying to record without looking suspicious, and that's why
Yes,
like we just got random. But next time, just ask Jojo, man. That's your girl. She's got your back.
exactly. Ask your friend to record. Be like, show me. Bring out the phone. We don't know what this call might say. Um,
You
And
know?
then also it looks like Zama also sent a message to Maria about the argument. So Maria wasn't at breakfast, so Zama filled her friend in about what happened. And they're busy saying this one uses Face App, Nonku use Face App, but you got your body done, so why are you using Face App? And what very petty things, but
Childish.
I'm here for it. Very childish, but I love it. Um, but also one thing I observed also was that how Jojo defends Nonku. Like she literally said, Nonku can do no wrong. Nonku could slap someone
Yeah,
and Jojo would still defend her.
which is so problematic. That is such a problematic thing to say. And it's like, ma'am, you're a mother. Like you're actually a mother, and this is how you think. Like that for me, that is wild. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're in your 40s and you're thinking like you're back in high school. That's wow. That's absolutely wild. Like if your
She's
friend
saying I'm going to
is
give
wrong, call your friend out.
she's gonna she's defending Nonku until the end. She says that because she says that Angel, and also this is I know white woman just dramatic, saying that Angel
Mm.
charged at Nonku. I'm like, really? Did she? Did she? I don't believe anything this woman says. Did she?
And their words are very telling. And then the things that they'll act like they're like, what? I didn't mean it in that way. It's like, you meant it in that way. This is the only
Yeah,
language you speak. Maybe speak another one. But you meant it in that. You know exactly what you're doing. Please, let's not play that game.
exactly. Then Nonku says that Angel acts different all the time. She said that she was one way at breakfast. Now she's behaving differently, I guess, at the way they were fishing. And I can believe that a little bit.
Mm,
I can believe that.
mm, mm, mm. But I
You
don't think
know?
she's doing it in a
So
way of like I'm being shady. I think
yes.
she's just it's
I
a tough
think
shit. It's tough, man. You're a new
yeah.
housewife. It's tough.
I think what she's trying to do is adapt with every single group. Like the group is not cohesive, so they're not one.
Mm,
They are groups
mm-hmm,
within the group.
mm,
So I think she's just trying to adapt. When
mm,
she's with one gang, she's one way. When she's with the other gang, she's
mm.
another way. I think she's just trying to adapt and survive, to be honest.
That's a good point, actually. That's a very good point because I she doesn't want to like draw a line, but at the same time she wants to be like around everyone. But then for you to do that, you have to adjust your behavior, personality according to like what the circle is giving you. At least she's in the
Yes.
room.
No, true. She is reading the room. Um, Then
Mm.
Zama and the one word that they've used to describe Angel this whole season is that Angel is a liar. So Zama says that Angel is a liar and she has amnesia and then she plays the victim. And I think there is a bit of truth to that. I don't think
Pathological
she's
liar,
doing it, a Brad pathological liar.
100%.
I think there's a little bit of truth to that. I don't think she's doing it consciously, or maybe she isn't. Maybe she's just playing a really good game. But I think there is a part of her that probably her foot. Is it her? What's the analogy? What she puts her foot in her mouth? Is that the one? Yeah, she does
Oh
that.
yes, yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
puts
yes,
her foot in
yes,
her mouth, and then
yeah.
I think it's kind of like you have to backtrack. But now you have a little bit of amnesia. Amnesia's like, did I really say that? I don't remember saying that. Like,
Mm,
and then you then
and she's in her head, she's like, honestly, girl, I say a lot of crazy shit, so I don't even know if I
yeah,
said that.
and then then she comes back and she's like, no, the group was gaslighting me, or she's like, no, they were ganging up on me. So
Mm.
I think there's a little bit of truth to that. I don't think she's doing
Ish.
it on purpose, but I think there's a little bit of truth to that, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Which
but
is
anyway,
dangerous because it's something that she needs to keep, it's something that she needs to keep track of, Yo,
true.
yeah, no. Damn.
So then we have a scene. Oh, sorry, Amy arrives. So she's now there, but now we have a scene with Nonku and Maria. And I think what I find, so basically, I'm not gonna get into this conversation too much. Anyway, Maria is just basically trying to make amends with. She's had a conversation with Jojo. Now we know the other half. She needs to
Mm,
now make up with Nonku too. And I think what I found so fascinating
mm,
is that Maria
mhm.
is the one that's doing the rounds, apologizing to these two people that were insulting the hell out of her last year.
Thank you,
And you
Rita.
are the
Thank you.
one
I was waiting to say that.
going to kiss their asses after they said all that shit
After
about you,
they said
about
those
your
things to
lips.
you.
They started this body shaming shit. They started that
Damn.
nonsense. But she has to be the one to
Which
get on
also
her
like,
knees and beg for their friendship again. No
mm.
way.
It goes back to my point of like, Maria, love yourself, bro. Love yourself because like no one else is gonna unless you do. Like not your. I'm sure your son loves you, but like no one's gonna love you as much as you will love yourself. And then when you'll actually realize, no, 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 this is fucked up. I don't need to be
Yeah.
doing that. Like I shouldn't be doing. It. Like that for me is wild. And I hope someone like brings it up in reunion. Maybe we'll write that question. But I'm like, babes, you are the one No, no. For
No.
me, it should be a 75. You just acknowledging them saying that they're sorry because I don't know what she did wrong. I honestly don't know what she did wrong. Maybe she attacked them wrong, like she insulted them, but it was only after they had said all those things about her. So for me, she should not
Exactly.
be apologizing.
And I
She should
also
not be
I think
apologizing. And I'm
and I
just
think
like, oh yeah, no.
and I think with both conversations, the one that you had with Jojo and now with Nonku, the lack of accountability on Jojo and
Mm.
Nonku's part.
Horrible.
Lack of
Absolutely
accountability.
horrible.
No,
Absolutely horrible. I'm not gonna lie, like they're not my favorite people.
same. I'm
Like I
not.
enjoy them as housewives, but like I don't think I'd want to enjoy chilling with them. Like I would
No,
not.
true. I
Mm.
think Jojo and Nonku are a dangerous combination, and I think they hype each other up. And
Mm.
hey,
Mm.
dangerous combination. But you know what?
Mm.
Let them be a little duo. They said they ride or die for each other, so let them be freaking frack. So then we move on to dinner.
It's such a problematic freaking flag though. It's so
Yeah.
bad.
So we have the dinner. The first dinner. Yeah, the first dinner for the trip. And Slee's basically pissed that
Mm.
everyone, I guess, all the ladies are speaking about her. About what has been happening because she's obviously hasn't been around the group, I guess, for the whole day. So Maria gifts
Mm.
everybody. She gives everyone gifts, and I guess now things are T for tense because Slee has not been around for the whole day at activities. There was a blowout at breakfast, and now they went fishing, and there was an argument there. So now things are T for tense. Now we must all sit together and have dinner. Like now it's awkward. It was even Amy was like, I can feel the tension. What's
Mm.
going on here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Slee
Mm-hmm.
basically starts us off and she just tells Amy that, hey, listen, after the bonfire, things didn't end well for her. Um, and I guess Slee is now saying that this is the information that got back to me from Angel. Angel is saying that me burning incense is witchcraft. And now Angel needs to
Mm.
now
Mm.
explain her analogy again that she said if it was witchcraft, nobody would have appreciated it. Then Nonku said that she
Mm.
felt like what Slee was doing was witchcraft. And obviously, I would be hella
Mm.
offended because what she's doing is not witchcraft. She's just a sangoma, and she was honoring her
Mm.
ancestors. And if you understood anything about
Mm.
it, about being a sangoma, I don't understand what it what it entails, the whole thing. But obviously, I think you with your ancestors 24/7. They're with you all the time. I think she has to do certain things to
Mm.
appease them.
Mm.
You know.
Mm, And for
So
me, it's just like I said, like for me, it's a thing of like respecting other people's like religions. Like it's highly offensive that you even said that. And it's just, for
true.
me, it's like I'm like where did you grow up then? Like yes, most black families are Christian, and like maybe they don't like follow traditional practices, especially like with sangomas and stuff. But at the end of the day, we still know that like there must be like a level of respect. It's like where's your
Yeah.
Ubuntu actually? Where is your Ubuntu? I was
Yeah.
highly offended by that, and I don't think it's cool actually. And it needs to be
So
called out,
yeah,
100%.
so it looks like a conversation about witchcraft. I guess it looks like they had a conversation about witchcraft. But Nonku says that she's not the one that raised it. And I think, like I said, I think if Angel just didn't use the word witchcraft, I think it would have been a different story. Then apparently Nonku
Mm,
made a comment said it's giving witchcraft vibes, and everyone laughed. But Nonku saying said it in a joking way, and naturally Slee's offended because like I think what also makes it offends her is like Nonku, you and I are not on great terms,
mm,
and now this is what you're gonna say about me. You got me fucked up. We're not friends.
mm, mm,
We're not friends.
mm.
And
Very
she's
good point, actually.
and they're
Yeah,
judging
actually.
yeah, they're judging, and Steve feels like they're judging her spiritual practice, and she honors her ancestors
Mhm,
and God, and she won't allow anyone to dictate how she does that. And very good point. She's not bothering
mm,
anybody. She's
mm,
not forcing anybody to come and do it with her. She's not doing it in everyone's faces.
mm.
She's there in her room, and she's doing her own thing. So it's like, why is it I think for me, it's like it would be like, why is it a discussion topic if I'm not bothering anybody? I'm not involving any of you in this. So why am I this
Exactly.
topic of discussion?
It's
So
just so
now,
weird. For me, it's the thing of like, if the tables were turned, how would they feel if they're like, let's pray, and I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm actually atheist. You're offending my religion by practicing it in front of
yes,
me. Like, how would they feel? People,
yeah,
they'd be like, what are you saying? This is blasphemy. It's like, well, what did you do to, like, it's just,
true,
it's wild. People are quick to forget when the tables are turned, they will be very quick to be like, you can't do that. But they will do the
yeah.
exact same thing.
And everyone at the table, and obviously this gang was gonna gang up on her. But everyone at the table says that Angel is the one that said witchcraft. And they said, and then Angel then doubles down a little bit and just like, she said that we don't practice that in my family. We are Christians. And again, like I said, if she just didn't use the word witchcraft, it would have been a different story. But she didn't have to use the word witchcraft to describe whatever her analogy, whatever she was trying to say. It didn't have to be the word witchcraft. It really did, So anyway, let me move right along before I don't want to take too long. But so then now they run the tapes back from the bonfire. And in that, Angel says, can I make an analogy, Zama? Imagine if you walk into a room with a person that does witchcraft. Would you sleep there? That's what's on the tape that they played from the show played. That's what she said. So how do you feel about what she said?
I don't know what point she was trying to get at. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that like no one wanted to stay with her besides Sorisha. So I don't know what point she's trying to get at by saying that. Yeah, and like you said, like just why did you bring it up at all? Like why bring it up at all?
Why
It was very weird.
So then Angel then leaves. She honestly should have just sat her ass down and let them eat her up because she fucked up, to be honest. She should have sat down and let them eat her for dinner. But she leaves and she says that if anybody wants to chat with her, they can do it with her one-on-one because she feels ganged up on, so she left. And then Maria comes at Angel and says, Angel, you lying. She says, listen, child, do you want a pacifier? Then who are you calling a child? Jojo gets up and comes to Maria's defense. Maria, someone bring the crayons for this child. Angel, someone bring me a fucking needle to bust those fucking lips before I do them for you. Then, of course, the lips. Oh, highly offended. She's
got her so worked up.
Oh my God, as if it's never been said before. Meanwhile, the person that's coming to your defense is the first one to ever point out that there was a problem with your lips. But anyway, now the fight ensues, and Maria, I don't know where she found the strength of Jesus from, but she tries to fight Angel and grabs a chair to try and throw it at her.
That was so badly done. That was so badly done. I actually would have laughed at her. If I was Angel, I was gonna laugh at her. Like, did you see how she struggled to pick up that chair? It barely got over her arms. Barely.
Bruh, barely.
I'm like, where are we gonna throw that thing, man? Where?
Yo, honestly, where were you going? You really gonna fight Angel? Angel gives, Angel, I feel like for me is like my Mabusi. You know, Mabusi is from the Monvo.
It's a taxi boss.
Girl, that's a black girl from KZN. I don't think I want to fight her either.
On call.
Listen.
On speed down.
I wouldn't want to fight her either. She looks like she can fuck someone up.
It was very weird. I don't know what Maria was doing. I was not impressed. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I was very underwhelmed.
Jojo, obviously Jojo's that ride or die friend, and she comes into Maria's defense, and they go back and forth, and she says to Angel, "You must shut the fuck up." Then they're holding Maria back. I don't know, who needs to hold Maria back? She's tiny, so I mean, really, what strength is there? To be honest, I would have been like, "Girl, sit down. Sit down." So yeah, obviously, then things spiraled because the comment was made about the lips, and obviously that Angel went too far because she brought up the lips, and Maria's offended. She's crying. She's upset. It's like the fucking lips again. Who started that shit? It was your friends, your gang there.
The very same ones who are comforting you now.
Yeah. So Slee makes a very good comment in her interview at the end of the episode. She feels like the lips comment wasn't too far because Jojo has said way worse and didn't get the same reaction. And that's the real tea here. That is the real tea.
That's the real tea.
Why are the reactions different?
That is it for me. And I like how you actually broke down like what everyone said, because it took a lot before Angel even said, "Someone bring me a needle so I can burst those lips." Like it actually took a lot for her to even get there. Like they already were coming for her. She already said, "I don't like when you guys call me a child." And what did they do? They disrespected that boundary by saying, "Someone bring this child a pacifier." So of course now we're not playing fair. So I'm gonna play. I'm even pettier than you. I'm not as petty. I'm even pettier.
Exactly. You want to go low, I'm going to go lower. That's what Angel was playing. You go low. You're going into hell together. You'll find me in the gutter. We're going there together. No, true. You don't play fair. You're going to now come for me and hit a soft spot after I said, don't call me a child. and you're gonna tell them to bring crayons and whatever
mm,
else. Okay, so I'm gonna hit you
mm,
where it really
mm,
hurts. And she hits her where it hurts, and then
mm.
homegirl wanted to throw a chair. If that's the, hey, I get it.
Hey, yeah, their behavior, like especially that side of the friendship circle has been very, hey, but it's always been iffy. But now I'm just like, hey guys, y'all actually like are not. I don't know. It's giving me energy of like, are you good people? And I don't want to
Yeah.
come for them like outside of the show, but it's just like really,
It's the next day, and Maria, the first thing she does is she calls her husband Neil and explain what happens at
Mm,
dinner. And she was triggered by the body shaming and the needle, to the lips comment.
mm-hmm.
And I put you in my notes. I feel like her lips are just such an easy target. And I don't think, and I also think we need to also remember, like, we shouldn't, I guess, diminish her feelings, right? She feels body shamed,
Mm-hmm.
and that's her experience. And making those comments,
Okay, okay.
yeah, I think we need to honor that. Like, it's
We need
it's
to
all
honor that. Yeah,
ridiculous.
you're right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it really is a soft spot for her. It really triggers her. So I think we
Yeah.
need to still be sensitive to that, even though there's all of this shit is just ridiculous. But I think
Look, I'm
we
willing to be sensitive to it as long as she's also willing to do the work. Like I feel like she's not willing to do the work, and now she's just using it as a crutch. Like, are you going to therapy? Are you going to therapy? And like, are you asking yourself, why did I want to make my lips so big?
so
But then when
big.
people had something to say about it, I wanted to instantly go, like, it was your body, it was your choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I
True.
wanted ridiculously big ears and everyone's making fun of me, like, I should be secure enough in it that no, I want these ears and I don't care what anyone else to say.
Yeah.
If you change your mind, then you change your mind. But now don't now listen. Let's not make it a thing of like it's just a crutch for me to now throw a chair at you.
No, true. No, it's yeah, it's
Mm,
giving. When are you actually just gonna own the fact that you have big lips and this is what you wanted to do for yourself? When are you just gonna own it?
mm,
Because it
mm,
really,
mm,
it was your choice, and you look good. You like the way that they looked. Just own it and just be like, yeah, I have big
mm-hmm.
lips and what?
And what exactly?
And
Like
what?
make
Yeah.
fucking duck floats for the next season and everyone and bring them to everyone. Like
Yes,
like
sis.
yeah,
That's what
own the
I would
joke,
have
own at
done.
least.
I would have made them bigger. Just be like, now we're gonna have something to talk about. This season we'll really talk about my lips. But anyway, Sarisha arrives via helicopter as well. Um, Nonku then visits Maria. I'm just gonna breeze through certain things because we do want to get to the dinner.
Okay.
But yeah, Nonku visits
Mm,
Maria. Nonku's happy that Maria actually stood up for herself. And I just feel like I think now looking back on the fight, I just feel like Maria had no business being part of that conversation. Like she added herself to that thing. But anyway, she figured herself out of nowhere.
she added herself and now everyone is like crying to oh yeah, no. A
Yeah.
lot.
But she does
And
say
I felt very fake as well. It felt very fake because even Nonko was like, "Oh my gosh, babe!" And the way he grabbed that chair, I don't know, you had so much strength. I'm like, strength where?
strength way. But she says when, I guess because Maria, I guess because of what happened last season, she removed the fillers in her lips. I'm assuming, I don't know if she's put them back or not. I think she has. But she said when she removed the lips, she
Mm,
thought that she was ugly and then she was actually suicidal. And then I put you in my notes. I'm saying the body shaming,
mm,
so the body shaming came from your friends. They started it last season. Like if you
mm,
were pushed to that point,
mm,
don't forget the people that actually got you to that point. If you felt like you had to remove the
mm.
fillers, don't forget that.
And when are you
Yeah.
having a chat with them? Like, why are you apologizing? And when are you saying, actually, you guys really fucked me over? Like, what you did was fucked up. When are you gonna say that instead of what are you apologizing for? Even
What do you
that's also my thing.
exactly?
You know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yo.
yeah. So Sarisha then goes. Sarisha and Slee see each other. So Slee fills Sarisha in and about what's been happening. And Slee feels like she's gonna speak to Angel. I think she needs to iron stuff out with Angel more than with anybody else. Like fuck those other ladies, but like the person that you're closest with, you need to call them to order and be like, girl, what the fuck is actually going on here? Like what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
ladies go on a little game drive. And this is when Zama called Sarisha Michael Jackson again, and it just made me laugh because I was like, "What the fuck? Like, where is Lee finding where is she, why and why is she doing this and can she never stop because it makes
Oh
me laugh.
gosh. I'm not gonna lie, it did kill me. It did kill me.
It
I
makes me
chuckled a
laugh.
bit there.
Yeah, so then the guy ladies have a little bit of a game drive and they have dinner in the well, I don't know if it was dinner, but they were doing something there. Um and
Mm.
Maria didn't invite Angel to this gathering. And then I was like, how? Then they just cut the scene and there was no content from that dinner. I was like, there wasn't. Then they spoke about nothing else.
You know what I'm saying? That was weird.
How? I was like, this is
But
bizarre.
I guess we're used to it at this point. I didn't even make a note of it. But like as you mentioned, I'm
Because
like, actually, thank you.
even me, I was like, so that was it. You
That's
know.
it.
So yeah, then it's the next day, and then we have Nonku, Jojo, and Zama, and they sit down for drinks. I don't know what time of day this is. And I think they were
Mm.
trying to get to know Zama. So, they asked her about questions and, questions, and she opens up about her fibroids. And yeah, so they talk about that. Then they talk about Nonku and how she gravitates towards bad guys because now that I don't know if she wants to go back to dating or not, but I think Nonku will always be on the prowl, to be honest. But she does want a
I think she
man.
always will, and like she's just always picking the wrong men as well. Like the man that Georgia spoke about, I'm like, yo, Nongo. Like, yeah, you said you're a new person. You're not. You're actually not a new person. Where's that life coach? That life coach that you had for 2 episodes, where is he?
Bruh. I think
Hey,
Nonku would probably
hey.
benefit if we had like proper I don't know, we might do like if we had like proper matchmaking services here, I think she would probably benefit from something like that.
She wouldn't, because
You
I
think
feel
you
like
don't think so?
I don't think so. Like, I think she would end up sabotaging it somehow, some way. Like I think both her and well, Jojo maybe not so much, but like her and Maria have a lot of like healing to do, you know. And I'm not saying it's their fault at all. Like I think life, society, patriarchy fucked them over, you know, in like I don't know which way, but in some way. And like that's why they just have these weird isms, you know. And like even Nonku, like from a moment I saw this man, I'm like, Nonku. And not because of his looks,
No.
just the way he was carrying himself. I'm like, there's something fake about this man. There's something fake about. And if I can see through a TV screen, it's like, what are you choosing not to see? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of feelings to do. So even if she found someone who's perfect, she won't see it. And she'll be like, no, actually, he's not a politician. He's not a president. I'm like, your standards for dating is very superficial, baby. Like someone can have money, but they can still be an asshole. Someone can have money and they
True.
can still be an abuser. You know, like
True.
she has very weird standards. Like, and yeah, it's just skewed. It's skewed value systems of like what she thinks will make a good partner. Someone who is in the presidential suite. Okay, and then what? You know? I mean, she's
No,
okay
you're
dating someone
very
as a
right.
girlfriend. At her grown age, no, babes, no.
No, you're very right. You're very right. Nonku, I'm curious to see if we'll see her dating anybody else on the show.
Mm.
So yeah, then we have Slee, Sarisha, Amy, and Angel, and the four of them are going kayaking. And after the kayaking, they have a sit down. They have a high tea. And Angel says that she's going on an apology tour, and she's gonna start by saying sorry to Slee. And she says sorry for engaging in the conversation, which I think is the right thing to do. I think she didn't have to engage in the
Mhm.
conversation, but also acknowledge the fact that you did start the conversation in one way or another. Gail.
Mm. Mm.
Um,
Yeah, she should have
you
been
know,
she should have been defending her friend. Like if
yeah,
someone's talking sideways about you, I'm defending. I'm like, hey, I don't know what you think this is, but like not around me, not around me.
yeah. So she apologized, and obviously we know the next step to apology tour is going to speak to Maria. But before we do that, Sarisha
Mm.
says that they bring up, Mabusia. They're gonna see Mabusi again, and Sarisha, ride or die for Mabusi. Says Mabusi is my friend, and Mabusi, and she said that she did speak to Mabusi, and Mabusi wants to apologize to Jojo. And here in my notes, I even said, let's bring Mabusi back. I have no issues with her coming back. Let her come back. I have no issues with that.
Thing is, I want to come
Yeah.
back, but I want to come back in a problematic way. That's my issue. You know, like I want to come back and be like, no, yes, yes, you are a white bitch actually because you did A, B, C, D, and you feel
Girl.
this way. So therefore you are. And I'm sorry, like that's just how I feel, and I'm steadfast in it. You know, honestly, like, because she's gonna come back and then she's gonna have a tail between her legs for like a good 4 or 5 episodes. I'm like, this is not the energy you deserve, babes. Not after they mistreated you for so long. This is not how
True.
you should be coming in.
No,
Yeah.
true. Um,
Mm.
so I guess we're gonna have
She
to
did come
see
in hot
if
though. She came in too hot.
no, she
That was
came
her
in very
problem.
hot.
She came
Yeah.
in way too hot.
And she sort of built up a little bit there so that they didn't see it coming. But then I think when they saw she was there, she was like,
You
yo,
know?
trouble is coming. And then Maria, so yeah, Amy, and then now they bring up if Amy's gonna speak to Zama. And I think Amy just doesn't have energy for that stuff. And I agree. I wouldn't have energy energy for it either. Somebody accused you of
Mm,
lying about
mm,
going through a traumatic experience. You went
mm,
through something traumatic
mm.
and somebody
And
just
you can
said
tell this person
you're a liar.
is a constant liar. Nah, nah.
Nah, I wouldn't have anything. I said I wouldn't. I'm not gonna talk about it. Um,
I'd also pass. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so now they talk about. I like the fact that they spoke about Nonku's scammer ex-boyfriend because the ladies also have questions like the
Mm,
rest of us have because he was there last season.
mm-hmm,
Then after the season wrapped, there were things in the papers that he scammed her. They're not together or
mm-hmm,
whatever. Now we're at the start of the new season and she hasn't spoken about what happened. And Slee says that she came under
mm,
fire last year for speaking about this guy. And Nonku was there, ride or die for her man,
mm.
and she defended him. And the ladies are
And
like,
Jojo
we
as
still
well.
yeah, and the ladies are like, we still don't know
Being the
what
family good
happened.
friend that she is.
Yeah. But the ladies are like, we still don't know what happened with this man. Do they have a falling
Mm.
out? What happens? And then I love that she's like that she's like Steve thinks that they are both scammers. They were scammers, they were
Yeah,
both
they scammed
scammers
each other.
scamming each other. Yo, I loved. I said not scammers scamming each other.
I died. I died. And like, the thing is, remember, Slee is someone who is Nonku's friend before the show. So she sees the
True.
good side and the bad side of Nonku. So when she talks, she's making sense, guys. And that's why, like, when Slee talks about Nonku, I'm listening. I'm actually listening. You know, like, when she said, oh my goodness, you're learning words, maybe she never used to use the word paranoid before.
And that's a good point, eh?
It was shady. But maybe, like, she never used to use the word, like, paranoid. She's like, oh, okay, someone's learning, you know?
Hey, bruh. No, but good point. Maybe she's like, when did she
Mm,
start being this person?
mm, mm.
And then we have a cooking class for the other ladies for Nonku, Jojo, and Maria. And
Oh, don't
basically,
forget. Oh, sorry to
yeah.
interrupt you. But like one thing I did appreciate was how Jojo said from now on she's going to call out the trashy boyfriend that she dates, and she mentioned how like yeah, this one that you're currently seeing now doesn't support you, and of course he doesn't support you because he has a girlfriend anyway, so he has no space to be
Oh
supporting you.
yes, yes. When she said that, I was like, "Look, this man having a boyfriend. This guy having a girlfriend." I was like, "Nonku, yo,
And like no
girl,
one laughs about it, like it's just like a normal thing. I'm like, you're not even like embarrassed or nothing. Ah, Nonku,
girl,
Nonku is dangerous. Nonku is
you're
actually
very,
dangerous.
very,
Mm.
very." So yeah, they have a cooking class. It's with Nonku, Jojo, and Maria. And this is why I was like, there's a very clear separation in the activities and who it's not they're not a united front here. So the group is very much so divided.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, Maria basically just says that Angel gets caught in her lies, and I think there is truth to that as well. And then Angel just starts
Yeah.
screaming when she gets caught in her lies. Um, and then I think then
Which was
Nonku
a
just
very big sign. It's a very telling sign, I'm not gonna lie. Like the moment she like in defensive, it's like, okay, but relax, just say you didn't say it. Like why are you standing up now, you know?
true. Because I think, and then also
Mm.
Nonku raises the whole thing between Amy and Zama, and I was like, these women are delusional because Nonku says that they feel like Amy is being too mean to Zama. She accused me of lying about being hijacked, and I'm supposed to be nice to her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like they have very skewed, like when it's someone that they like, then they skew their perceptions or skew their opinions,
true,
you know?
true.
It's weird what they do. Very weird what they do.
And then and then it looks like Sarisha and Maria have a little bit of a beef, or Maria's creating this beef. I don't think Sarisha knows what the fuck is going on. But Maria says that she
She has
feels
no
like,
idea.
yeah, she has no idea. Maria says she feels like Sarisha used Maria to get to Nonku and Jojo because she didn't like them and still doesn't like them. And then Nonku says that Sarisha is only loyal to herself. And then now these three are saying that they think that the rest of the group hates it that they are back together as a gang. That the others are just jealous that the gang is back together.
That the Lulu juice, that the
Very,
Lulu juice tastes
hey,
like poo. It tastes like
hey,
poo, baby. I stopped
hey,
using it because that is wild. Imagine like I dislike someone, but now I see this person hanging out with someone else, and now that makes me even madder. If I dislike you, like whatever you do is not going to bother me. Like I'm gonna move around like unpressed. I just don't want you around me. But I don't care who you hang
facts.
out with. Whew, that was
Like
wild. That was wild. I'm like,
very
you
wild.
are like a stallion. Hey, we're watching every move. Come on, man.
Yeah. And then Amy, the next scene is Amy visiting Nonku, and I think this is such a waste of a scene to be honest, because when Nonku played the
Mm,
recording for Amy, even Amy was like, "What the fuck did I just listen to? Like, what is this? Like, doesn't make any sense."
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was
Mm-hmm.
so bored by it, and I was like, "Girl, we are all bored as well because we don't know what she was on about either."
Honestly.
Yeah, but
Honestly,
anyway,
yeah, no,
let's
Amy, like she looked physically bored. Like she looked, yo, and you can't
very
come back
bored.
from that one. Like even when was embarrassed to play it afterwards, she was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have played
But he shouldn't have. And then we have Jojo and Sarisha, and obviously, I think Sarisha is just trying to gauge if Jojo will ever want to see Mabusi again. Um,
that.
and for Sarisha, she feels like Mabusi didn't come with the intention to fight, which is a fucking lie. Sarisha, please. Mabusi came with every intention to fight.
You love your girl, but come on.
Come on, wake up, wake up. But she just says that Mabusi, was upset with the way that she reacted, and Mabusi wants to make amends. And Surish and Georgia's just like, listen, I don't want to meet with her. There really is nothing else to say. Mabusi might,
Mm,
even if Mabusi feels sorry, it's just like if somebody's not interested in talking to you, like you can feel sorry all you want, but if I don't want to engage with you, I don't want to like
mm,
sorry, not sorry.
mm, mm.
And then yeah, just before the chaotic dinner, Maria calls her son, and which was very random. I don't know why they did that for that scene because the
Very
scene the
random.
scene was about Angel coming to speak to her. But anyway, calls her son once she
Very
drops the
random. Even
phone,
even the son was like, why are you calling me?
bruh. So yeah, Angel walks in, and Maria didn't even give Angel the time of day. She
A
was
lot.
like, "I have
Zero.
nothing to say to you," and
She
that
said, cut the cameras
scene,
dead ass.
yeah, that scene came and went. It didn't go any further. She said, "I have nothing to say." She's like, "I'm not even willing to listen." She doesn't
Sure.
want you at the. She didn't want Angel at the dinner either.
Sure.
And Angel was just like, "Well, if that's the case, I guess I have to leave. Like, I have no business being here."
Mm.
You know, Maria didn't even
I
listen
don't know.
to her.
How do you think you would have handled this? Like, do you think you'd have stayed for the dinner or you would have gone as well?
No, I would have left. Knowing me, I would have left.
Mm,
I don't go to places where I'm not
mm.
wanted. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
housewives. So now
Knowing me, yeah, that's
but
the
it's
thing. Knowing
housewives.
me, I would have stayed and like I would have annoyed her
Yeah.
just to drive her home,
But it's
just to be
also
problematic.
housewives.
Mm.
Before I'm hoping before Angel left, there was a producer that was at least in her ear trying to get her to stay. I hope somebody was doing their job and saying, don't you like planting a seed saying maybe don't you think you should stay to defend yourself? What. I
Mm.
hope somebody was like, girl, stay. And then even if after that she was like, I'm actually gonna leave, whatever, then go. But I hope
Girl,
there
I
was a
don't know. I
producer
don't know.
in the background.
Loki, I feel like you need to shadow one of these shows and be like, you need to be like, how much work are the producers actually doing? Because it's a lot of work. I know it's a tough job. It's a lot of work, but like they are what makes the good TV. On top of the editing, on top of the, but like it's the producers, guys. They produce the
Yeah,
story at the end of the day. They're
yeah. So
cooking.
I'm
They're the ones
hoping
cooking.
somebody tried to get her to stay. But Senzo, Seasons,
Hmm.
take us into the dinner, the chaotic dinner. Take us in there.
Oh, the moment that everyone was waiting for,
Yo,
that I didn't even know I was waiting for.
yo.
So I think what I did was I watched the first time and I was like, this fight is so wild. We cannot just like brush over it. So like I broke it down like how with what Rachel did the previous episode with the Londi and who drama?
Amy.
Londi and Amy drama. Yes.
Yeah,
So I just broke it down in terms of like chapters. So I think before we get to like chapter one, there was the fight before the fight or the moment before the fight. And I think it was when, like what you just did now, when Maria basically told Angel, like, listen, I don't want you around. You can't sit with us. I mean, you can, but like, I'll make it very awkward for you.
true.
Because that was already, I think that was what's culminated into like the chaos that it was. So
Yeah.
we get to the fight. We see everyone walking in slow motion, and I was like, "Why are they forcing the slow motion on us?" I'm like, "What's happening here?"
No, but they
Even
love
like
doing
the
that
way
for every event. There's always a slow mo. They love
and it's
doing it.
not
It's so
necessary
annoying.
because
It's so annoying.
this is the one where we needed a slow mo. We needed it for this one. Because even Surisha was like, she was painting the scene of like, yeah, I don't like these dinners. They give me so much anxiety because it just seems like everyone is fake and everyone is here just to like, everyone here just to be messy and problematic,
True.
which is exactly what happened. So, Surisha then asked like, what happened, to Maria, like, why isn't Angel here? And Maria breaks it down And Sarisha's like, well, from what you said to her, doesn't sound like you were being very inviting. Like you did say you can come, but it doesn't sound like a very warm invite. Like I wouldn't have come either, you know? But I think from what I could tell there was Sarisha was giving us that hostility, you know? And
Mm.
obviously like Maria's like, no, I mean, listen, like I have the right to feel how I feel, and you can tell she's very triggered by it, which is why I guess you do have a point that like we need to respect how she feels because you can tell she was very hurt by it, and that's why she doesn't want to hear anything right now at the moment, you know. The problem arrives though. Part two of the problem arrives when Slee says to her, no, but Maria, don't you think? And Maria was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And she's like, no, no, no. And she's like,
Mm.
I don't want to hear it. Then Nonko comes in and she's like, no, Slee, you need to give her time to, talk because, I mean, you need to give her space because this is a very, like, tough thing for her. And that's when Slee got annoyed because she's like, okay, but you could speak. Why can't I speak? She doesn't even let me say what I want to say
Exactly.
before I'm
Double
being shut down.
standards. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
double standards. So,
That was
so,
the game. Exactly.
ooh, girl, girl, I was
Exactly. Double
heated.
standards again, you know? And I think that's when Slee was really then starting to pick up the whole thing about how, like, Nonku, the way you chat to me is like some other way. Zama then jumped in, and then that's when Sorisha was like, actually, no one is talking to you. I'm not even talking to you because
That's what
you don't
finished me.
respect
So I was like, why are you figuring yourself? She's like, girl,
It's like, I don't even talk to you.
like,
And then Zama then again goes to the whole thing of like playing the victim, and she's like, "Well, Sarisha, why don't you pick up my calls?" You know, and then Sarisha was like, "Yeah, of course it was for a fucking dress. Like, I don't need to pick up that call for a dress. Like, we've been having issues before that. When I thought that we were fine, but we've been having issues before that."
mm,
And then that's when Jojo and Nonku now come in trying to defend Zama. It becomes very awkward. And chapter two. Now, chapter two arrives when, oh yes, when Slee points out the hypocrisy. And Zama says she hasn't been talking to Sarisha because she doesn't pick up. Oh yeah, okay, we did that. Then we're going to chapter three. Sarisha then exposes. This part killed me. I don't know how we got to it, but out of nowhere, Sarisha then just starts talking about dresses, and she's like, "Yeah, well, you guys are coming for people's dresses anyway. I heard you guys in the foyer laughing about dresses."
bruh. I was like,
Jojo and Noko were
Sarisha.
like,
I was like,
"What?
Sarisha
When
spilling
did we
tea, and
do that?"
she's like, you guys are messy, so I'm gonna expose what you guys actually do behind closed doors.
I think the problem here was that maybe they really weren't being messy because it seems like they really weren't. I just think Sarisha's been like, guys, I've been in conversations with you guys where you guys talk badly about other people, but then you're nice. So I think she thought this was one of those moments where it was like, no, we were just talking about how her dress was making noise and that it's tight, you know? Then comes left field, left field, and she's like, I hope y'all weren't coming for my fashion and my sense because I would kill all of y'all in the fashion game.
Yeah,
What? It's like if Meek Mill, it's like this whole thing of like, this beef between Kendrick, Drake, and
yes,
and
Meek Mill, yeah,
yes, not
yeah,
Meek Mill, Kendrick, Drake,
uh,
and who's the other person? And
oh,
Cole and J
Future.
Cole. Yeah, yeah, Future, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. But now it's like if Meek Mill came out of nowhere, Meek Mill's like, I hope y'all aren't coming for me, saying that like I'm not in your top three because I'm in everyone's top three. And it's like Meek not even looking at you, not even looking at Slee and her fashion sense. And she says, first of all, she said, Zama has no fashion sense. I was like, that's a bit
Yo,
dramatic. Even the dress she was
yo,
wearing, I'm like, it looked fine. Like maybe I don't know the theme, but like she looked fine. Then she said, oh, I hope none of y'all coming for me because I body all of y'all. I body every
she's
single
like,
one of
you
y'all.
guys got me
Y'all don't have
fucked up.
style. Even you, Suresh, you don't have style. I was
Yo,
like, whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down. Slow
when
down,
did, yeah,
man.
like when did things just escalate? And that it was
I
so
did not even put you in the
chaotic.
top five.
Like I feel like it was just like a dinner where everyone was like, actually, I'm gonna air my grievance here. All my grievances, you guys got me fucked up. Like
Yeah.
everyone was just saying whatever. The conversations were not cohesive. We're just jumping from like one topic
Mm,
to another. It
mm,
was so chaotic. I was just like,
hmm.
what is happening here? I was like, these women don't like each other. Like point blank,
I
they
mean, I
don't
was
like each
living
other.
for it, but at the same time, I was like, this is chaotic. This honestly is chaotic. Because then Noko then she ends off that chapter by saying, no, well, listen, I would never talk about you guys because you guys are so boring anyway. Like, what would I even
Yeah,
talk about?
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Why are you
damn.
insulting me? Now it's giving when Kim told Courtney you're the least exciting to look at anyway. That's what it's giving. That's honestly what Nongu was saying.
So now we jump into chapter four, and then Zama jumps in again, and she's like, I know, Sarisha, you're not talking to me, but I'm talking to you, and I don't know why you're trying to be an instigator. Amy then jumps in and she says, no, Sarisha would never be an instigator. Sarisha's just pointing out what she feels like is wrong, and like what she feels like we need to work on. And then I think Maria said something to Amy, and Amy was like, you must keep quiet because I've got files on you. And she's like, oh, what
Whoa,
files? Then she starts
whoa.
talking with her fingers, with their hands. And you see, this is also another thing that I don't like. When non-black people start talking with their hands, and it's like you know what you're trying to do. Like you know what you're trying to do. You're trying to give
Gonna round me
Shaniqua
up.
and you're trying to make fun of me, girl, but you're doing it in a very insulting way. And I think that's also why Amy was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because one thing you do is you're riding other people's dicks when you have a husband. So I don't know if I'll be doing that, but that's what you do.
That so I was like, now she's sitting on someone's dick. I was like, what is going on? Wait.
Now I need clarification on this part because I'm like, were they grinding or like was it a naked penis? Was her vagina naked and she's on
No,
Neil's dick, a gay man?
no,
I was like, what's going on? And then when they're like, oh, it's about Neil. No, but Neil is gay. Neil is gay. In my head, I got so offended. I'm like, that does not make it right. Like, none of
true.
my friends are going to try
That's
and hurt
true.
me just because I'm gay. No,
True.
hell no. That's still
True.
my private space, and I'm still being violated. If Neil was okay with that, okay, shut. But Neil, you and I gotta have a chat because you're giving your friends the wrong impression of us as gay people, and I don't like that.
True.
So you and I
You're
gotta
very
chat.
right.
Um, Unless he's bi. If he's bi, live your life. If they were cheating, I just need clarification on like where the stick riding came from. Because even
Yes.
Slee was like, yeah, we all saw it. So like, where were you guys?
Like, what was she doing? What, like, cause was she sitting on his lap and oh, like was like yeah,
Oh,
was it? I don't know. Like, I need to
it must have
understand.
been that.
Yeah, but was she sitting on his lap in like
I'm
a
thinking it must have
provocative
been that.
way? Like, I'm trying to understand.
And
Like,
I think, like sometimes straight girls do this thing of like they're like, oh, he's my girlfriend, I can like, play with him. But then sometimes I'm like, are you really playing, or are you hoping that like one drunk encounter could lead to? Because when you're
yes,
playing, it's always a repeated joke. I think she was doing a thing of like she was sitting on his lap, and then maybe she's like seductively, like but in a jokey way. I think that's what she was doing. And then even Amy and Flea were like, I will like that's weird. That makes more sense. That
that
makes more
whole
sense
thing was
because
confusing.
in my head, I was thinking Pornhub. Like she had a sex tape released, and now they're looking at her sex tape. But it makes more sense that maybe they're at a bar. She sat on his lap. She was grinding because Dipper Low was playing, and she was just being playful, but she was also being
But then
problematic.
the
And
question is, did something else happen? Because if she were, I'm assuming if she was just sitting on his lap, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But like,
mm,
were they being provocative while she was like, you know what I mean? Like,
it looked
what
like they
else
were
was
caught.
happening?
It looked like she was acting very sad afterwards. Like she acted like, oh, why would you say that in front of like everyone, the cameras? Like then she started calling Neil. She was panic calling. You're right. It was very sus. It was very sus.
Very sus.
And I wouldn't put it past Neil as well. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, that thing finished me. I said the way the conversations here were jumping for us to get to a dick. I said, how did we get here? How did we get here?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hi.
And then we jump again because I think they were trying to clarify where things went wrong with this dinner. Like, maybe they were trying to be like, maybe you shouldn't have come this, you should have come this. And then Nonku was like, no, guys, what we need is a mediator for Zama and Amy. Then Steve laughs and she's like, who's gonna mediate this? Because we're beefing with everyone. Everyone is beefing with everyone. So who's gonna
Yeah,
mediate it?
who's gonna mediate?
And then Nonku now she starts coming with her like her subtle digs, and I think I got where Nonku's subtle digs were coming from because if you've been watching, I mean, obviously you've been watching,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
throughout the season, Nonku has been saying, I don't like how Slee will say, I'm so proud of you now that you stopped drinking, oh, you've made such big steps. So I think she felt slighted in that way, and maybe she started making. That's why she made these like digs of what did you say? Yeah, listen to it's what your heart is telling you. Your heart is telling you that. Your heart is telling you that. And then Steve's like, no, don't tell me about what my heart is telling me because now you're making it seem like I'm being emotional when I'm just stating facts. And then where do we go? Where do we go? Oh yeah, then Nonko starts saying stuff about what is the word she used?
What word did
What
she
was
use?
the word she used? I can't even remember now. Oh, paranoid, paranoid. Yes, when Nonko started
Yeah,
saying you're paranoid, then Steve was like, oh, someone's learning a new word. The word of the day
word
is
of the day.
paranoid.
Now you're using paranoid. Where did you learn this thing? Who taught you that? Who taught you paranoid?
I think, and like, I get why Nonku's so offended because I'm like, it's fucking paranoid. Like, my 4-year-old niece knows what paranoid means. Please respect me.
It's like, girl, how old do you think I am?
But from here, like already, you could tell that Slee and Nonku are just they're not getting
No, they're
along,
not vibing. No, they're not
And
vibing.
Slee basically said like, no, we're not. You've been talking to me some like in your own kind of way. You've been treating me like shit, and like I'm now I'm calling you out on it. Nonku's like, what are you even talking about? Like again, this is you being paranoid. And who do you
Like,
think you
girl,
are? And then Slee
okay,
says, Slindile, Millicent Ndlovu.
yo,
It's Millicent for me. It's the Millicent.
called her by her full fucking name, her government name.
Her full name. Her
What's
full
on her
name. But
ID?
yeah, the fact the fight eventually like dies down with them walking away, sleeping shady, saying, I like your dresses. And Jojo does this awkward white girl thing again of trying to find tears, which Sorisha does not fall for. Sorisha's like, those tears can fall on the floor. Because I'm just nodding and I'm saying, okay. Jojo was like, I really thought, and I think this is gonna be a change in our friendship. And she's like, okay, cool. Cool
Cool. She's
story,
like,
bro.
what? Like, I think, because honestly, I think George is also the type of person that's used to people kissing her ass, and you can see that
Yes, because she just
with
watched it.
no, yeah, you can see it with Noku and Maria. All they do is kiss her ass.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, actually,
Yeah,
when you're the pretty white girl, like everywhere you go, you have capital. You know what I'm saying? You have emotional capital, you have social capital. You are always treated on five pedestals higher, and you don't
I am.
realize that. I don't
True.
think they realize that until much later. And even if they do, they're not going to do anything to change it. Like, why would you want to change that? It's like,
No,
why would
true.
men want to change patriarchy if it serves us? We're
If
not
it
going to want to
serves
change
them.
it. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're very
So
right.
yeah, like it was a very interesting fight. It was a very telling fight though. Like I think
Very
you start to see people when you see their ugly sides. She
true.
was very composed. She managed to tell Nonku, I don't like how you talk to me. Fine, she did she this? Yes, she did. But like she's human. But she still came to her in a very calm manner. It was Jojo and Nonku and them who were walking away in the
So
fight.
true, true. Yo,
When they're the
that
ones
that
who were
dinner,
pushing it. They were the ones who were
that
pushing it.
because even in my notes here, I was like, of course the three musketeers lived together. Of course those two. And then what finished me was when
Mm.
Slee said, "It's fine, you can leave. We are flying out tomorrow." And then Maria says she called. Then Maria's like, not the broke ass one saying she's flying out tomorrow, but it's on someone else's plane. I was
Mhm.
like, yeah,
In my head, I'm like,
good
you see, these are the comments that made my wussy call Georgia white bitch. These are the comments. Because what's wrong with me saying we're flying? Like, yes, I am flying.
with my
It's
friend.
not my plane, but I'm flying.
Exactly, I'm flying out with my friend. What do you want me to do?
Exactly.
I'm flying out with my home girl.
PJ, I'm not like
Yeah,
it's a PJ. I'm sorry. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
but then
Yo,
it harbors on
guys.
my point of like how insecure Maria is. Like for her, like money is it's the be all and the end all. And I don't think for Slee it's even that. Like, yes, Slee was showing off, and she was being petty, but she wasn't even showing off in a sense of like, oh, it's my money. She was saying like, yeah, bye, we're flying anyway. See you in six
Anyway,
hours when
yeah.
you guys come
You
back.
know what I mean? You know what I mean? When you guys are done with your trip, let me know.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yo,
that was the end of the episode.
that
How do
dinner
we
was
feel?
chaotic. I mean,
It
first of
was.
all, I enjoyed both episodes. I thought, especially when they got to the trip, Drakensberg is giving. It's giving.
Mm,
It's
mm,
giving.
mm.
Drakensberg is
It
giving
is. It
because
is.
the drama.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm living. I'm here for it. I'm enjoying myself. I am excited for the next episode. I am curious
Mm,
about what the
yeah.
dynamic is going to be now between the group because now they all left Drakensberg in a mess. So what's going to happen?
Mm,
I like that there's a
mm.
clear divide in the group. We have two gangs against each other, and they're very different. They're very different. Very
They
different.
are, and I feel like one is like one has a lot more healthier ways of dealing with conflicts, and the other one is just a mess, chaos.
No, a mess.
It's just chaos.
So
But
I'm
what
just
would you give
like,
it out of 10? Like, if you had to summarize it to
yo,
your average.
honestly, out of 10, I was highly entertained. I
Mhm.
think I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. What did you think?
Yeah, so I would have given it like a 9, but I'm giving it an 8.2 because I'm tired of these technical issues. The producers weren't doing their job. And they just lucky that like the ladies were just spicy. Honestly, they're lucky that the ladies were spicy. Otherwise, like the producers they need to pick up. They need to pick it up. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
No, true. I can see the potential. Just things need to be better. But I agree. Like It really could have gone
Mm,
that. I think
mm,
it's just sometimes it's just like we miss out. Oh yeah, kind of we miss out on a whole breakfast scene that could have been shot. And there's so many things that could have been done. Actually, I'm gonna
mm-hmm.
give it an 8. I'm taking away my 0.5. It's an 8. That breakfast scene, we missed out on some heavy content there.
Heavy hitters. Like just that they were lucky that the rest of the episode was good. Otherwise, like if this fight was bad, they would have been like, guys, we can't put this footage in because of that original footage. You know what I'm saying? So they're just lucky that the ladies were giving. Otherwise, they would have had a very dull Drakensberg trip.
Very, very dull. But
Mm,
it was a good trip. So yeah, what was your rating?
fortunately, mine would be an 8.2. I'll give it an
8.2.
8.1.
Okay. Yeah.
8.1.
No, I agree with you. I think but it was a strong episode. I
Aligned.
won't lie. I really was entertained. I don't know what was happening at that dinner, but I was highly entertained.
That's why I had to watch it twice,
Highly.
and that's why I had to like text and be like, can I cover the fight? Because I had to go over it again and be like, what was happening? Because when I was watching the first time, I'm like, whoa, now dicks are being read, and whoa, now people don't know how to spell paranoid. Whoa, what's happening here?
And you're talking
Now
about
people are
people's
saying that they're
fashions.
style queens,
Yo,
they're style icons.
I know. Things were all over the place.
A lot,
A
honestly,
lot.
honestly. But
But I
shout out to
hope you
Amy.
guys,
I want to
yeah.
give like a shout out to Amy because I think she
Okay.
really did. She came through. She came through this episode. Like she wasn't
Okay.
doing too much, but she did enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Okay. Well, you guys let us know what you thought about our episode reviewing the Real House of Durban, but also let us know what you thought of the episode 7 and 8. And I'm gonna put a poll up,
Mhm.
and the poll will be which team are you on, and it will be team Zama, Jojo, Nonku, and Maria, or are you on team
Mhm.
Sarisha, Slee? Who's on that team? Sarisha, Slee, Amy. No, not Amy. Sorry, Sarisha, Slee,
Um,
and Angel. Is that a gang? Are they a gang?
an Angel, yeah, yeah,
Is that one
yeah.
gang?
I would say so. I don't know,
Okay.
Angel. No, I think Angel is still ostracized to an extent. I think Angel and Amy are kind of floaters. Amy though is leans a lot more towards Sarisha's side. But
Yeah.
Sarissa being the matriarch, and I think because they're so strong in they're so aware in their emotions and so sure of themselves, they don't need to have a gang to defend each other. You
True.
know what I'm saying? Like,
I think,
yes, they are friends,
yeah,
but like I think that's also why like Sarissa was like, no, let Sleep defend it because she has enough emotional intelligence to be able to express herself without getting
yes.
emotional or making it a
Yeah.
big issue, you know?
I think I'm gonna put are you team Jojo, Maria, and Nonku, or are you team Slee and Sarisha? I think that's the very clear
Oh yeah,
divide.
Add Zama in that other team.
And the other one, okay. Oh yeah, let me add Zama,
Actually,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So the Ghana it's 4 against 2.
Mm.
Yeah,
And the two are like they're winning flying covered colors. That's also the wild part. Like they're
yeah.
not overreacting. They're saying what they said. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, thank you
I mean,
guys
I
so
don't
much.
know if
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
Oh
Just
no,
one
go
last
ahead.
point. I don't know if Sarisha was right or was justified in the thing about the dresses, but I got where she was coming from. Wrong time, but right scenario. Yeah, right
Scenario.
point of view.
Okay.
Just the wrong time. Or yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's true. I think there she was just starting shit, to be honest. She was just starting shit. She was just
And we're here
starting
for it.
shit. You were here for it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening. And I hope you are enjoying the Real
Mm,
House of Durban. I think it's turning out to be an interesting season, but we'll see what the dynamics
really is.
are next episode. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Hi everyone.